Just squad-wise, first of all, Darryl, if you could just give us an update on Max Jowett's health at the moment.
Yeah, he's okay. He just got a bit of a whack last week, but he's fine. He's trained this week, so yeah, all good.
Did you fear the worst at the time?
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he'd got a whack and he wasn't too bad. So once we got the word from Matty Crowther that he wasn't too bad, he just got a whack. So he's been all right. Like I say, he's trained this week, so there's no dramas there.
I think there's a couple of changes to the squad. What about potential reshuffles within the 17?
Um, yeah, a little bit. There's a couple of options for us. I think there'll be a couple of changes, just with the nature of the last couple of performances. Really, we've got a couple of guys that are sort of creaking a little bit with little bits of injury, like Josh Griffin, for example, is in the squad, but he's unlikely to play. He's got an issue that will keep him out. But not bad, he'd be okay for next week. So yeah, there'll be a couple of changes in there.
You were talking about the stop-start nature of the last month and how that's not helped Wakefield at all, and it's you that's been mainly affected, isn't it, because of that forfeited game? Is the key now just trying to get that continuity back, trying to get that momentum back?
Yeah, just playing every week. Obviously we had the week off that we knew about, but then to have another one so soon afterwards, and then we're playing the best, two of the best teams who played really well against us around that. I don't think we handled that too great, but it is what it is. It's gone. We're still in this position now where it's us and all, and and for us, I think he's just getting a groove, get doing some of the things that we were doing really well earlier in the season. Not too far away, to be honest. I mean, obviously we beat Leeds here couple of weeks back, and just get that back, just get that feel and that flow and that energy, and we've got 4 games left, and a good opportunity to get in the six. All will feel the same. So it's a great sort of, I think, all the way through there's 7 teams there where you're looking, thinking we're not sure who's going to fit where. Potentially OKR at the top, but everybody else is fighting and jockeying for position. So that's what you want at this time of year. And for us is to find that sort of playoff mode, that playoff zone, if you like, of performance and energy and effort. And if we do that, then we'll be in a good place, I think.
Would you admit to looking at other clubs' run-ins, well, specifically Hull, more than anything else at the moment, and sort of second guessing what might happen between now and the end of the season?
Well, yeah, I think that's only natural for a coaching team to do. I'm not saying you share that with the with your players too much. I think that for them it's just focus on one game at a time at this time of year. And we've worked hard all year to get ourselves to a position where we're in with a shot of it. And Hull would say it's in their hands because they're a point ahead at the moment, but I just think whoever plays the best over these last 4 games now is gonna be in there, and but yeah, I think we've got to make sure that it's us, and but pretty relaxed with it as well. I'm not sort of. I don't think the team should feel under pressure. I think the team should feel relaxed. We're the hunting team at the moment, I think, if I can put it like that, and we just take each game as it comes, and just focus on playing well. And I feel like watching the boys this week that we're in a good place. It sort of, the review was obviously not great, from last week. Yeah, we got beat pretty easily, really, by a really good team. But I don't think any of that matters now. That happens through a year. It's just focus on what's in front of us.
What's your gauge on Huddersfield at the moment? They're coming into some form, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing all right. I think obviously a win against Warrington last week will be great for them. They've been picking up some wins over the last few weeks, and they've lost a few players, but some of the young players that are stepping in there are doing really well for them, and yeah, I think that's probably what Robbo would be most pleased about. is they've had a tough year in lots of ways, but they've hung about and they've stayed tough, and it's a good character to have in your team, I think.
Ollie Russell was in the camp, wasn't he, last week? Has he been able to give you any? Have you asked him about any potential pointers ahead of Saturday?
No, not too much. I don't think that's right, really. I just think leave Ollie to Um, just crack on his training. He's trained with us. Obviously, he won't play for Huddersfield tomorrow. So he's been in our environment this week, which I thought was important. But we all watch videos. We know what's going on in the opposition. I don't think I need to put Ollie in an awkward position, if I'm honest.
And just lastly for me, do you feel like it's playoff mentality ahead of the playoffs from a Wakefield point of view? Does it have to be that way?
Yeah, I think so. I think for us anyway, having that sort of that lean period where we haven't played too many games, I think we're fresh. We're motivated. We know what's ahead of us. But I think we have to get to a level of intensity that shows that we want this. And I think the boys spoke about it this morning a little bit. Boys are ready. I think that we just got to go and prove how good we can be now over the last 4 games, and then if we just look after ourselves, don't worry too much about permutations, just look after ourselves, then it'll be where it'll be. And I don't think there's any real pressure on us. Nobody expected us to be in this position. So, whereas the pressure can only really come from yourselves, I think. And I don't think, we've been pretty chilled this week. I think that's important that we can go and play our game without feeling any weight of pressure, because I don't think there is any on us.
Um, what's Josh Griffin's injury?
Oh, he's just got a bit of an ankle.
But nothing
No, he's
serious.
all right. No, he's fine. There's nothing major in there. No, he'll be fine.
And Lachlan Walmsley's not playing. He's got bashed about a bit in the last couple of games. Is that a legacy? Is that the reason why he's not playing, or is it just you feel he needs a rest?
Yeah, well, he got an head knock last week, and he came back on, but afterwards he just felt like he maybe wasn't 100% right. So just this sort of cautionary more than anything else. And we've got a couple of wingers in there, Jaden Myers and Matty Russell, who haven't played massively. So yeah, we got some options.
Yeah. Did he pass the HIA last
They
week?
passed it and went back on, but then afterwards we were sort of just looking at him thinking he probably needs a little bit of a breather here. It's not being forced on us, it's just us taking a precautionary measure really to look after him.
Yeah. And will obviously Hull play just before you tomorrow. Will you take any notice of that? Will you be watching it, keeping an eye on the result, or just trying to put that to one side until after your game?
Yeah, well I might, but I just think for the boys, don't really mean it. I just think you just focus on what you're doing, because that I don't think this game decides the way it's going to go. I just think just keep playing. We want to win 4 out of 4. I think that's the focus, but you can only win one at a time, and just concentrate on what we're doing here.
You've said there about trying to keep the focus on you and getting the players to enjoy it, but just how do you go about that when the permutations and the difference between you and Hull FC is so tight in that for sixth?
Well, I think it's about the way I do things. I think if I come in and I'm jumping about with a load of intensity and go over the top about it, then that's going to feed into the players. But I can say stay relaxed. I think more my body language and the way that I and we as a coaching team deal with things that's what it's all about. So if the boys see you being pretty relaxed around the place, then I think that's where it comes from, and I think we've been pretty relaxed this week. We know it's a big game. I don't think you need to talk about it too much. We've just got to deliver. And the boys will get intense tomorrow, and they'll get focused and zoomed in on what they're doing. But yeah, I just think just chill out, go and play your best rugby, but without a whole host of intenseness around the week. I think that's key.
And just kind of, I know the season's not over yet, but reflecting on it as it's gone so far, do you think you're almost ahead of schedule? Are you where you at? Where is that like? Sorry, I'm stuttering my words here. Is that where you thought? Are you where you thought you would be at the start of the season? Are you ahead of schedule? Just kind of what are your reflections on the season so far?
Yeah, I think we've done really well. I think, to be in this position where we're a chance of being in playoffs in our first year back in, and I think that, that sort of phrase there probably tells the story that it's first year back in, and we've got an opportunity to be in the six. So yeah, at this point, the season could be anything, couldn't it? So at this point, I think we're in a great place. Whether it's better than what I thought, we came in as a new team into Super League, and we just thought we had a good team, and we'll see where it takes us. But we've done a good job, I think, and in a great position. And how it all finishes, well, story will be told. But I think for us to be where we are now is the boys have done a great job.